gang, just a super quick, simple video here. I've got a boat racing buddy of mine, Richard Jones, who's got a buddy who's having a little bit issues setting up RPM sensor, magnetic RPM sensor, using his 4PM. So let's dive into this and see what we can do. Number one, to make this system work, and he's using a 304 receiver. I've got one here. I've got a battery pack here. And we need to determine, I like to anyway, determine what the north and south polarity of the magnet is. So I've made this little mono, yep, there it is, with a magnet in it. And we're going to put it in water. And that green piece of tape right there is north in my shop. So I'm going to set the boat in there. And you can see the boat is pointing that magnet north. If I turn this around in there, it's going to go back to north. And that's how you can determine, yeah, I know, quite a trick, whatever, which side is north and which side is south on your magnet. So now that we know which side is north, I'm going to go ahead and mark that. Grab a marker, because I'm really brilliantly set up for this today. Let me grab a marker, permanent marker. I'm going to mark this magnet north. Hang on, here we go. This side of the magnet is north. Yay. All right. Now that we know that, here's our little Futaba magnet that actually comes with a magnetic sensor. Now, this thing needs to be 2 millimeters away from the face of the sensor. And here's the sensor, and here's the face of the sensor. This would be mounted near your flywheel or near the magnet within 2 millimeters. Pretty tight. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm just going to place this here because I want to know what side of this magnet is north too. Well, there it is. It's the one facing away. South, south, north. All right. So we know which side is north. I'm going to go ahead and mark that as well. Hang tight. The north side of the magnet is right here. All right, there's our north side. Now, to get this system all, I know we know what north is. That's cool. We know which side is north and south. Now I can't tell you which side yet this reads from. So let's go ahead and test that. We're going to test this magnet to find out which polarity of the magnet it takes to trip this sensor. It is only one, north or south. It will not read both. That actually works out pretty well. If you're setting up a flywheel, you're going to want to drill 2 holes on opposing sides of the flywheel. Pop a north in this side and a south in this side. That's how I set mine up. But depending on, these magnets are really small and lightweight, probably not critical, but at the RPMs we turn, it's a good idea to get those. And then use a good sleeve retainer to hold them in. Do not put them on the outside circumference of the flywheel. Make sure they're on a face of the flywheel, or they'll come flying out of there, I promise you. Anyway, here we go. We're going to go ahead and we're going to test this sensor. I'm going to go ahead and the transmitter's off right now. We're not going to turn that on yet. I'm going to go ahead and plug the battery in. The sensor's plugged into the S-Bus 2 port right here. And we're going to plug that in. You can see, hey, we've got a little red LED on our sensor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pass the magnet in front of the sensor. Let's see what happens. Nothing. That's the south side. Let me flip it over. That's the north side. So that sensor uses the north side of the magnet to read that magnet. So sensor needs north. Cool. Now that we know that, I'm going to go ahead and unplug this. Makes me feel better. I'm going to fire up the 4PM. And then we're going to go to menu 4. We're going to go to menu 4. We're going to go down to telemetry. Bam. Enter. And we're going to go down to RPM. Now, I'm going to hit the center button again. And this brings me to my RPM menu. You can see here, our ratio is 1.000. If you don't have a gear ratio, or this is on the other side of a gear ratio, it is 1.000. If it's 1.001, this isn't going to work. Make sure it's at 1.000. So now I'm going to take the north side of the magnet. I'm going to pass it past our sensor. Let's keep an eye on that, on the RPM sensor, or on the RPM section of this. Let me get this adjusted right. Oop. It's really kind of hard to do. There it is. 460. Did you catch it? Let's do it again. Let's see if we can catch it. It's really hard to do. Here we go. I can't. Here we go. Hang on. There we go. See it? So every time it goes by, basically it trips that. System, right? So a few of the key components here are: make sure the magnet is facing the correct direction. In this case, on this sensor, I suspect it's true for all of these Futaba sensors. North. The north side of the magnet is the side that needs to face that sensor. If it's not the north side, it's not going to work. Secondly, I think it's you have to check this ratio out. So I'm going to back out of this. And you can see, you can actually read the RPMs here as well in the telemetry menu. But I like to go here because I want to double check my ratio, and your RPMs will show up there. I don't know if this is going to work for you, but I hope so. Check the sensor first by not turning the transmitter on, plugging the sensor into the S-Bus 2 port of your 304 receiver. Determine which side of the magnet turns that sensor on or off. In this case, it basically turns the light out when it's the correct direction. And then you can go ahead. I unplug everything, plug it, turn the transmitter on, plug it back in, and test it by passing that magnet rapidly back and forth in front of the sensor. Now, the magnet that we floated in the little boat, that little magnet's about 2 millimeters. This will give you about 6. I mean, it's a lot. It gives you a ton more room. This is a little Neo magnet from a project, garbage that I have laying around. But this little guy really makes a lot of power. So you might be able to use this one for testing, or some other magnet. I don't know how well a ferrite magnet will work. I don't have one here. None of these are. That looks like a little Neo or cobalt magnet. This is likely the same. Probably Neo. So anyway, hope this helps. Keep me posted. Super cool. I hope more guys are using these systems. Super cool stuff. Futaba. Trophy Hunter. Let's go get them. Grim Racer out.